Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Race to Save the Planet. In 10 hours of films, we're going to take you around the world to look at the state of our environment. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and we that dwell therein. This is my environment. My family and I live on this pond in Connecticut. And I always think about that scripture when one of my kids says, "Do we really own this pond? I mean, is this all ours?" And I say to them, well, the pond and the fish that are in it, and the insects that the fish eat, and the plankton that the insects feed upon, all these things belong to God. And it's our responsibility and our privilege to take care of them as long as we're here. And as I'm imparting this thoughtful message of responsibility, it occurs to me that if I can't even get my kids to clean up their rooms, and I can't, how am I ever going to impress upon them the importance of cleaning up and caring for and maintaining their environment? But the truth is, it's up to us, their parents. We're the ones who are in this race to save the planet, and we have a decade to win it. If we don't, in 10 years, the natural world as we know and cherish it will have changed unalterably. And nothing that succeeding generations will do can alter that fact. In this series, however, we're going to show many different ways to work with nature, not against it. And in the first episode, we're going to look at how our ancestors related to nature, and we're going to ask the question, what changed? How did we manage to get into this mess we're in?
In the Kalahari Desert in Botswana, in southern Africa, a group of hunters is making rope. They're extracting the fibers from a tough desert plant. It's likely their ancestors did the same 30,000 years ago. Outsiders call them Bushmen. This group call themselves the Shom. Their ancient way of life depends entirely on their understanding of the environment. Right now, this koa tree is producing gum, for example, and that presents an opportunity for the hunters. A ball of the sweet gum will be the perfect bait to put on the trigger of a bird trap. After many years visiting the Kalahari, Isaac Barnard and Alec Campbell have come to appreciate the vital skills needed to live off the land.
You stuck the gum on the end of the stick there.
Yeah, the gum, they use that little stick now as the trigger mechanism for the trap.
A noose of the rope they made will complete the trap, all placed just where the bird will come looking for gum. For Alec Campbell, the trap represents perfectly the Shom's knowledge of nature.
The skill is to know where to put it, more than how to make it. When you have to be completely at one with this environment to be able to live here easily.
Although the Shom may be at one with their environment, they nevertheless exploit it extensively. Berries from the kagoom bush, for example, are used both for bait and for human food. Isaac Barnard's known this man, Rasiokwa, for 20 years.
He say that this is the bait for francolins, mukweba, it's a red-crested koran and guinea fowls and all the big ground birds, you can say.
The hunters have a regular routine.
They set traps every day. Every day for meat. If they want meat, they go out and set traps. So one family may have 3 or so traps out, and almost every day they will have meat.
For the Shom, meat comes directly from the land, and so does shelter. Rasiokwa gathers dead tree branches while his wife, Zamakati, supervises construction. The Shom range over large areas, so it's common for family groups like this to build a simple structure for just a night or two's stay. It took less than 20 minutes to both gather the material and put together this particular shelter. As well as carrying their infants wherever they go, Shom women have a special responsibility. Right now, it's the rainy season in the Kalahari, and the desert sands provide a cornucopia of food. It's up to the women to find it. Like the hunters, they have to know where to look and what to look for. Nuts from the marama vine are in season at the moment. They're shelled on the spot as they're gathered. The marama plant provides an excellent tuber as well. Alec Campbell made a detailed study of the wild plants these people use and counted over 150 different species, some for eating, some like this baya root for the water they contain. At this abundant time of year, it's only an hour or two's work for a woman to gather enough for her family for the day. About 80% of their rainy season diet consists of wild plants. The rest comes from hunting and trapping, birds, antelope, and game of many kinds. This man used the same kind of trap that was set with the tree gum, only he set his around the bird's own egg. Now we can take the bird and the bait. The Shom make fire by rubbing two sticks together. Rasioqua has done it so many times now, it's second nature to him. It takes less than a minute. They'll build the fire right beside the temporary shelter they put up earlier. On the fire, the women will cook the roots and nuts gathered from the desert that morning.
You see this hole on this side here? I think they're going to take some ash out of the bottom of the fire, and then they will take the plants over there, those tubers, and they will put them in there and scrape the fire on top of them. Apart from what the men can hunt, this is their food. This is what they collect every day. And through the year, it changes. I mean, right now, we're getting, this is, that big one was a marama that they put in there, and some cucumbers and some marama nuts. In a month's time, they'll be getting bohemia nuts, and the marama will probably be finished. And then in a month after that, it'll be brachystoma. And then a month after that, it'll be something else. But throughout the year, they go on collecting food like this. They don't plough, and they have no money to buy food, so this is their food.
The Shom's existence looks effortless, and in some seasons it is. Rainy season is the best of times in the Kalahari. But in the dry season, plant food is much less abundant. Hunting becomes more important, and that makes it harder to provide food reliably. There can be droughts here, when the supply of plants and animals drops drastically. Then times can be very bad, when the women wouldn't dream of using the roots which provide water just to wash themselves as they're doing here. The Shome people, although they use the natural world, live in close harmony with it. Their hunting and gathering way of life compels them to keep moving to look for new plants, new game. They'll be back, but not before the Earth has renewed itself. For almost all of human history, perhaps 100,000 years, people lived this way,